Hey guys, this is Stylus NZ. I'm about to install my N.P.A.S from Ratec into my Kriss Vector bolt, replacing the flute valve that came with it. I've disassembled the bolt following instructions from 6mmag.com, really good instructions which also work for installing the Dangerworks flute valve. Bit of a nightmare to get these little parts out of here from this little side thing here. These took me an hour to get this apart, and I spent about half an hour prying that out. In the end, I resorted to spraying it, letting it soak a bit with some CRC silicone, and that loosened it up nicely and it popped out straight away. Apart from that, the rest was pretty easy to pull apart. The N.P.A.S lets me adjust FPS so I can get my Kriss Vector down to a CQB rating. It fires about 380 on .2s. Wanted to get it around about 350 or a bit lower. The way the N.P.A.S works is you can adjust this gap, which will lower or increase the FPS. My understanding is if you tighten it, you get a high FPS. If you loosen it, you get lower. So I've just put the bolt back together. It only took me about 10 minutes. As I said, pulling it apart took me about an hour. Much simpler process. Just had a bit of lubricant to it, and I lubed these little wing nut things, so if I had to pull it apart in the future, that hopefully they weren't as hard work. What I was trying to work out is how I can adjust the N.P.A.S while the bolt is in or assembled. The tool itself can fit in the front of the nozzle, but what happens if you try and adjust it, the whole N.P.A.S system just twists on the inside. So you need to wedge the back plate slightly with something like this little screwdriver, and then you can just put a bit of pressure and adjust it. Not too hard, bolt's easy to get out, so that's quite cool. Okay, so now I'm going to chrono test the N.P.A.S. I put it as tight as possible so I should get the maximum FPS out of this. I'm using 0.2 gram BBs, green gas. It's about 22 degrees inside my shed, 18 degrees outside, so let's see what I get. .300 odd. I would have hoped for a little bit higher. Okay, so now I've wound the N.P.A.S in the other direction, which should lower the FPS. Let's see how that does. Okay, so between 300 and 230. 235, not too bad. I would have hoped to be getting around 350, but it's definitely CQB legit. Next test, let's see how it performs at a target grouping. Okay, this is a grouping test using 0.2 gram BBs, 18 meters. Burst fire. Try that again, burst fire. Full auto. And I'm out. Out of the box, my Kriss chronoed around 370 FPS on a 23-degree day, which was just too hot to use for CQB. And on top of that, while it's just become legal in New Zealand use for auto airsoft guns, my club has a hard 350 FPS limit, which means I couldn't use it for auto there either. With a variable rating of between 217 and 309 FPS, the N.P.A.S has done what I needed to do, and it's brought my gun down to a field legal level. But I'm a bit disappointed the FPS I got when I was testing it. I had hoped to have my Kriss shooting around 330 to 350, but I guess it was a cooler day outside from when I first chronoed it, so if it gets a bit warmer it might push up closer to that 330 mark. The grouping is decent at 18 meters, and it's on par with the results I got with the stock flute valve. As I mainly game in an outdoor field, I aim to have my guns with an effective range of between 30 and 40 meters. While I know I'll be able to tag a target at 20 to 25 meters with the Kriss, I'm not sure how it's going to go at 40. The real test will come when I get to go out in the field with it. But for now, I'm optimistic it'll be able to do the job.